This is the Transforming Anxiety podcast with mindfulness teacher Kelly Hanlon McCormick. And today is episode number 265, A Few Thoughts to Live By. My intention for this conversation is that we simplify it a bit and lean on the teachings and lessons from some very wise thinkers and just let go into their offerings. Welcome in. It's the Transforming Anxiety podcast, episode number 265, A Few Thoughts to Live By. I'm so glad you're here. Hey there. Welcome in today. So, I'm on vacation again this week. Yeah, the last trip to Colorado was so good, we just decided to do it again. So my kids are out here with me this time, and we are just soaking up the mountain air and the streams and the hiking, and of course, some of the good stuff like the alpine slides and the mountain coasters and zip lining and all that jazz too. My kids are turning into pretty adventurous people, and it is so fun to watch them experience all of this and to love it, like to really crave it and enjoy it all. My brother and I grew up coming out to the mountains as kids a few times a year, every year. And even now, it truly feeds our souls. My brother and I, it's like we just need time in the mountains to be ourselves. It feels like home to us. And it's pretty cool to see my kids have that same experience, to enjoy it and to really get it like in their bones, the way that I did as a kid growing up. And hey, still midsummer, still just doing all the summer things. I thought it'd be fun to do something kind of simple this week, but also, honestly, just really important. This is one that I feel like you can just melt into. Just let this one wash over you. I'm going to return to this one myself. Just listen back to it and let these words soothe me and support me and heal me. Yeah. So in one of my classes that I teach every week, we return to podcast number 56. We're on 265 now, but we returned to podcast 56, which was called My Favorite Thoughts. And there's a whole bunch of thoughts that I love to think on purpose. I really need to do a reboot of that one. I need to not even look back at that episode and just see if I were to do it brand new now, what my current favorite thoughts are, because it's like 4 years later now. So I'm sure there are some new ones, but it'd also be interesting, right? If there are some of the same ones, it'd be fun to see. So I need to do that for sure. But for this week, I wanted to do something kind of related to that and share a handful of quotes and poems and just little nuggets that I return to over and over again. These are things I really think we can live by. These have been enormously helpful to me. So, again, midsummer, days are long, days are hot. There's just so much energy and brightness and vitality to the weeks right now. So many of us love this time of year, really, right? The spirit that is so particular to summer. And this week, I just thought this would be a breath of fresh air mentally and emotionally for us to pause for a moment together. Just take a moment with these ideas, these lessons, these teachings. None of these are new to me. These are things that I have purposefully been practicing with for a long time. And I'm bringing these to you. Like I said, nothing's new to me. These are things that have been in my repertoire for a long time. I had a necklace made from one of them. One of them is on a Post-it note on my computer. One of these is dog-eared in a book. And that book just falls open to that page whenever I pick it up. So these are like mottos for life for me. These are things that I think, like I said, we could live by. We could study, we could share, and remember to remember, right? And I really do think that things would go better if we could all collectively keep these ideas close. So, okay, here we go. The first one is from Emily Dickinson, and she wrote this: I am out with lanterns looking for myself. And yep, same, Emily. Lanterns lit, just out there looking for myself. This one has always resonated with me. As a mindfulness teacher, I'm interested in awareness, self-awareness, right? Compassion, kindness, attention, where we're intentional, where we lose ourselves. So this one's always really resonated with me because I feel like it's a lifelong quest. Understanding oneself, getting to know and see and really connect with oneself, like in a real way. Not the pretend way, not the way that we want to, right? Not the shiny, kind of pretty way, but in the way that's true and real. And sometimes it's kind of ugly. Sometimes it's pretty cool, but the absolute genuine way. Yeah. So, right, may we all always be out there with our lanterns looking for ourselves. Yes. Last year, I read the poet Maggie Smith's memoir, You Could Make This Place Beautiful. So good. My goodness. And actually, she started her memoir with that quote from Emily Dickinson. So, she also has another earlier book. And she said this in that book. That book is called Keep Moving. She wrote this: "Don't wait for your life to magically come together. It's your work to do. Every day, every moment, you are making your life from scratch. Today, take one step, however small, toward creating a life you can be proud of." Yes. Don't wait for your life to magically come together. It's your work to do. This, right? This is a solid reminder for me. This motivates me. It kind of takes me by the shoulders and shakes me a little bit. Like, wake up, Kel. It's not all going to happen to you. You get to create it. Go out there and get it. I think this is also a good reminder that we don't have to wait for a new year, a birthday. We don't have to wait for any other blank slate date. No fresh start necessary. Just start now. Every day, every moment, you are making your life from scratch. Just start now. Yes. Okay, this next one, this is the one I've got a necklace. I had a necklace made with this quote. Maybe it'll be a tattoo at some point. Who knows? This is from Pema Chodron, and this is just one of my absolute favorites. She wrote this: "You are the sky. Everything else is just the weather." So let's stay here. Let's break this one down for a moment. You are the sky. Think about this. When you're on a plane and at some point you climb up and up and up and through the clouds, and it's like you're above the weather, right? You're in the sky at that point. You're no longer in or subjected to the weather. You're above it. You're out of it. You're in this place that's much, much bigger and more vast than the temporary weather that's happening in a certain city or a certain region on the planet. You're beyond that. This is true of us too, because we kind of have to live our lives in the weather. Yeah? Like literally and metaphorically. We are actually subjected to whatever Mother Nature hands us. Storms, heat, wind, you name it. We're in it. And it takes some mindfulness, some thought, and some care to remind ourselves, wait, this weather is happening, but this isn't who we are. It's not permanent. It's not forever. This is a temporary thing. It'll pass, whatever it is, right? The good and the bad. It's seasonal, it's daily, it's hour by hour, and it changes. Now, this is also true metaphorically. You get busy, you get tired or stressed or sad or mad or anxious. It's the weather of your life, and more is coming. It's a temporary thing, right? The emotions, the thoughts, the situations, they pass by. More's coming. You are not those things. You are the sky. You're so much bigger, so much more vast than the specific weather happening internally or externally at any moment. You are you. You are incredible. And the weather? The weather's happening, but you're the sky. The weather is just everything else that's happening in the sky. I love this one. I've been using this one for years, and I have to slow myself down and really listen to it, really like pay attention and focus with some of these that have been in the repertoire for a while. But when I can pay attention, this one really, it just hits me deep in my bones. All right, we have to include Mary Oliver here, of course. Mary Oliver is a poet, if you haven't heard of her. She's a poet that relied a lot on nature and observations of and metaphors using nature. Like, just gobsmackingly beautiful. She passed away not long ago, but she left us with so many just really amazing words. Such a legacy. Okay, one of them goes like this. When it's over, I want to say, all my life, I was a bride married to amazement. I was the bridegroom taking the world into my arms. When it is over, I don't want to wonder if I have made of my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. Again, when I get lost in the day-to-day stuff, when I am really in it with the details and the minutia of the hours and days and weeks of life, right? Just the chores, the dinners, the driving, the to-do lists of life. This for me is a real perspective setter. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. I mean, yes, Mary Oliver, that's right. I don't want to have some huge, or I don't have to have some, I don't have to have some huge impact or legacy or fame or whatever. I just want to know that I lived. I came here, I fully showed up, I lived fully. I didn't simply witness my life. I didn't just watch things pass me by. I want to grab it all by the collar and meet it, show up for it. Create what I want and ride the waves of things I can't control, can't change, and I just want to stay open to all of it. I don't want to fight. I don't want to resist. I don't want to shut down. And I have quite the tendency to just completely freeze up and shut down. I know I'm not alone in that. I want to say I was a bride married to amazement. My goodness, yes. A bridegroom taking the world into my arms. Damn. All right. So, Mary Oliver, check her out if you haven't already. There's way more where that came from. That's just one little nugget. So incredible. All right. Similarly, perspective setting wise, here is one from Ram Dass. He said, "We're all just walking each other home." I mean, at the end of the day, right? None of us are getting out of this alive. We're all heading to the same place, right? We're all just walking each other home. Is this one a little dark? Sure. Is it totally true? Yep. All right. How about this? This is from Young Pueblo. This is in his book, his first, I think it was his first, Clarity and Connection. He wrote this: do what is right for you. Do it over and over again. Lean into the light. Keep going even when it is hard, especially when it is hard. Do not let doubt stop you. Trust the process when your mood is low. Let growth be your mission. Let healing be your reward. Let freedom be your goal. Yes. I can just bathe my mind in his poetry. This one really resonates with me. when we're working on ourselves, when we are on the edge of change, when we are getting more self-aware and we are looking to maybe up level or maybe settle in or maybe create something in our lives, maybe we're just looking to pause and be. But we get lost, or we can get lost, right? In the whole like, am I losing it? Is this right for me? Am I on the right track? We kind of get lost in these lines of thinking. And this kind of stuff helps me breathe, particularly if I find myself kind of getting yanked around, wondering if I'm losing my own path, if I'm losing my own trust or sense of okayness inside. All right. We also had to include David Whyte here. That's Whyte, David Whyte. I return to him often, and it's remarkable to me. I'm not the only one. I mean, I'm not the only one with any of these, but a few of my teachers also quote David Whyte often. My teacher, Meadow, my yoga teacher, Janet Stone, both of them rely heavily on David Whyte. So, there's maybe kind of something to it. All right, he wrote this. You must learn one thing. The world was made to be free in. Give up all the other worlds except the one in which you belong. So, yeah, there's a theme here, right? Freedom. Freedom. The world was made to be free in. And this, my goodness, give up all the worlds except the one in which you belong. This is it. Stuff to live by. Words to keep close and remember to remember. Because at the end of the day, this is all there is. It's almost all we have to remember because the rest of it flows out from here. Yeah? All right. Last one for today. This is my current go-to. This is the one that's on multiple Post-it notes around my home. The one I return to, this is the one I've been practicing over and over and over again right now. This is from Ramana Maharshi. He was a 20th century sage from southern India. And he said this, you ready? Let what comes, come. Let what goes, go. See what remains. Yep. Let what comes, come. Let what goes, go. See what remains. So the first part of this for me is about not forcing, right? Not controlling, not manipulating, not exerting myself over the circumstances or the relationships or the other people or anything really. Just let what comes, come. See what that is. It's information. Let what goes, go. Again, see what happens. More information. And then I get to sift through what remains, right? The remains of the comings and the goings. We try to control so much of it all. We want to have control over it. We want to have a say. We want to try and coerce things to go our way, to meet our preferences, to match our desires, what we think is easiest and best in life. Oh, but this is seriously my main go-to these days. It's one of those things I think I could practice with day in and day out and just keep going deeper with. I don't think we're ever done with this stuff. It's like we don't ever fully arrive. It's just like, the more we stick with it, the more we practice with it, the more we find we need to stick with it and keep practicing with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So, a few thoughts to live by. Poems, quotes, wise words from wise thinkers. These are all things that, like I said, these have just been in heavy rotation with me and for me for a long, long while. And will continue to be. These are the few that I just keep returning to. There's always more, right? There's always more good stuff out there. And honestly, for me, this is pretty complete. I almost don't need more. Like, I think I could just stay right here. This about covers it. So, that's it for today. A few thoughts to live by. Yeah. Don't forget, of course, you can hit me up via featuredup.com/transforming anxiety. You can write me a little note there. You can send me a voicemail. Super cool. Either way. And I will see you at the same time, same place next week for more transforming anxiety. And until then, please take care. Thank you so much for being here, for listening, for doing this work alongside me. Thank you for sharing this with your friends and your family, anyone who, could use the support and the guidance, who could use these teachings and practices. Thank you for sharing your stories with me, telling me about your experiences and asking your questions. I'm here with you. Let's do this together. Transforming anxiety.